In this video, we are going to introduce one of the forces, which is critical thinking. Well, in the past, the skills that were required were the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. This is because the world was a manufacturing and agricultural one. However, in our modern world, they are no longer enough, since life is more complex. This modern world requires other specific skills which are known as the 4 C's: critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. Nowadays, teachers need to prepare students for citizenship and global workforce. Therefore, we could say that critical thinking and problem-solving skills are essential for today's students, since they will not only help them to solve problems in their jobs, but also to adapt to the requirements of our constantly changing world. Well, we have based our presentation on 3 different materials that present different models and definitions of critical thinking, research of different authors that contain real experiences of teachers who applied these skills in the classroom. We can say that critical thinking is a systematic way of thinking in which we use strategies to think in organized ways so as to analyze and solve problems. In the case of students, critical thinking is important not only to their academic life, but also to their future life. They should be able to use different kinds of reasoning to understand and work with difficult tasks in order to reach complex results. The learner should be able to make fair judgments and intelligent decisions, analyze and evaluate evidence, synthesize and make connections, interpret information, draw conclusions, and reflect critically on learning experiences and processes.
Now let's analyze the importance of critical thinking. Along with problem solving, it is considered the new basics of 21st century learning. Applying these skills increases motivation and improves learning outcomes. Research has shown that the best way to put into practice all these processes is in well-designed learning activities and projects, so as to improve the effectiveness and longevity of learning results. Critical thinking is also connected to other C's. Experts emphasize its connection with creative thinking skills. High-quality thinking involves thinking critically and creatively.
In the past, there was a one before the other learning sequence, also called taxonomy for learning. This learning sequence included thinking skills such as knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. However, it has been proved that this is not the way in which students learn. Nowadays, there is a revisited version of this taxonomy which considers all the previous processes but proposes a new one, create, which shows the active role that students have in the learning process. Fadel and Trilling believe that there is another way in which students can acquire mental abilities such as critical thinking. In their book, they give an example of this: the STARS project. The STARS project's purpose is to show that learning can be more efficient if students are motivated through a real-world problem. They basically created a website in which students can compete on a challenge called ThinkQuest. This challenge is basically creating an innovative educational website about a topic that they like. The project's objective is to encourage students to work collaboratively, developing their basic skills, using their ability to think critically when researching the topic of choice, and then explaining it in a creative way.
Now let's see some implications for teaching. We have found a similarity among the examples presented on the texts, and it is that all the tasks are to be done in groups. If not, there's always an instance of comparison or exposition at the end of the activity. Therefore, we believe that cooperation and collaboration are essential aspects when encouraging critical thinking. The material suggests that students who are explicitly instructed about critical thinking, when tested, perform better than those who are not. We have also found many examples in which students were asked to think about different events that happened throughout history, making a connection with their own reality. We consider that this is essential because in this way they empathize with others and rethink these events in order for them not to happen again.